This video presents evidence that shows that competitive environment is the basis for human and social development and survival. Competition is a rivalry between objects of living nature, that is, microorganisms, plants, fungi, insects, animals, humans, for material resources, that is, livelihood, food, space, etc. All objects of living nature are forced to compete with each other for material resources to one degree or another. Due to this rivalry, objects of living nature increase their level of competitiveness, which contributes to their survival and, accordingly, development. Thus, the presence of a competitive environment is a prerequisite for the survival and development of objects of living nature. The higher the level of competition between objects of living nature, the more dynamic the development of objects of living nature. The lower the level of competition between objects of living nature, the slower the development of objects of living nature. Human as an object of living nature is no exception to the above pattern. Since a human is a biological social being, the environment of human life is human society. The development of human society occurs in the social, economic, political, and cultural spheres. Therefore, competition between humans occurs in the social, economic, political, and cultural spheres of human life. Since human development is the development of humans' thinking, intellect, and consciousness, therefore, the higher the level of competition between humans in the social, economic, political, and cultural spheres of society, the more dynamic is the development of humans' thinking, intellect, and consciousness. The higher the level of development of thinking, intellect, and consciousness of a human, the higher the level of correctness of decisions and actions taken and carried out by a human. The higher the level of access of a human to new ideas, discoveries, inventions, methods, and means of solving new problems, including organizational, economic, political, social, technological, military, and others. The higher the level of justice and morality of a human, the higher the level of creativity of a human, the higher the level of resistance of a human to committing illegal acts. The presence of a competitive environment is a prerequisite for the development of human thinking, intellect, and consciousness, and, accordingly, human survival. By analogy with human development, the historical development of society occurs due to competition within society and between societies. Since the historical development of society is a process of changing the social, economic, political, and cultural position of society over time, therefore, competition within society occurs in the social, economic, political, and cultural spheres, which contributes to an increase in the level of historical development of society. The higher the level of competition in the social, economic, political, and cultural spheres of society, the more dynamic is the historical development of society. The low level of competition in the social, economic, political, and cultural spheres of society hinders the historical development of society. Factors that ensure competition in society: an effective elite of society that is interested in the historical development of society, and an independent and impartial court. Factors that hinder competition in society: an elite of society dependent on large capital and/or external forces, the absence of an independent and impartial court, an oligarchic system of governing society, monopolies, corruption, lobbying, protectionism. The impossibility or inexpediency of developing competition in certain spheres of society can be compensated only by means of a more rigid system of governance of these spheres of society. The higher the level of historical development of a society, the higher the level of correctness of decisions and actions taken and carried out by society members. The higher the level of collective consciousness of society, the higher the level of access of society members to new ideas, discoveries, inventions, methods, and means of solving new problems, including organizational, economic, political, social, military, and others. The higher the level of preparedness of society to accept new ideas, discoveries, inventions, methods, and means of solving new problems. The higher the level of justice and morality of society members, the higher the level of resistance of society members to committing illegal acts. The higher the level of the system of social organization of society, the higher the level of technological development of society, the higher the level of national self-awareness among society members, the higher the level of historical development of society. The more dynamic is the historical development of society, the higher the level of competitiveness of society in relations with other societies. Detailed explanation and justification of the above and much more relevant information concerning the nature of human and social development you can find in my book, The Nature of Human and Social Development, which is available at the link posted below in the description to this video.